everyone, this is Lizzie. I am super excited to share with you how I made this fall shaker card featuring the Oh So Adorable Jump for Joy stamp set. So I'll be using all of the critters and several of the scene elements to make my card. I'm just going to stamp them out in some Memento Tuxedo black ink because I'll be doing some Copic coloring. So I finished all the coloring, and then I've used the coordinating dies to die cut all of these images out. I'm just going to set them aside for when we assemble the card in a little bit. So the last thing that I need for my scene is a little hill for everybody to sit on. So I'm using some celery stick ink and I'm just sponging that onto some white cardstock. I had already gone and die cut this piece of cardstock from a stitched rectangle, and that will be so that the hill has a stitching detail all around the edge. When I'm finished sponging, I'm going to be using the simple stitched hillside borders, one of the dies, to die cut a hill from this piece of cardstock. Now I'm going to die cut all the pieces that I'll need for the shaker. I'm using the largest rectangle die, which is the size of a standard A2 card, and we'll be die cutting the back piece of the shaker, which is the pattern paper and vellum, and the front piece, which is the acetate. I will also die cut the leafy tree backdrop from some craft cardstock, which will be the front panel of the shaker. So you can see I have the front piece of the shaker, the back piece, and now I just need to cut out the middle. So lawnfawn has these great frame dies. Of course, they're great for being a frame, but they're also great for these shaker cards. So I cut 2 pieces out of some fun foam, and that is going to be the inside well that I can put the sequins in, just like that, and then the acetate and front panel will sit on top. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling my card now that I've got everything done. I have some white cardstock, and I'm just scoring that at 4 1/4, and I will fold it in half. So now I'm going to start adhering the bottom portion of my shaker card, or my shaker piece, to the card base, and I've used this pattern paper, and then over that I will adhere some vellum. That's just to mute the pattern paper a little bit so that it doesn't detract from the little scene that we have on the front. Alright, so now I'm going to start working on the front panel of the shaker. So I'm just using some thin adhesive to apply to that front panel, and then I will glue the acetate onto that. And then I can flip that over and adhere all of my little critters and scene elements to make up that fun fall scene. The last thing I need for the front panel of the card is the sentiment, so I'm going to stamp "It's a Happy Day" with some Versamark ink, and I'll be stamping that onto some narwhal cardstock. I'll be white heat embossing it. So when I stamped it, because I had it kind of lopsided on the acrylic block, it didn't stamp out very well, so I ended up stamping it a couple times. And then I'll use whichever one comes out the best. So once I have that all stamped, I can apply my white heat embossing powder, and then I will heat it up with my heat tool. And then I'm going to use one of the banner dies to just die cut that out. And I will adhere it to that front panel with a stapler. Alright, we're almost there. So I have those little foam pieces that is going to be the well for the sequins. I'm going to adhere one of them to that front panel. And I kind of adhered it a little bit wonky so that some of the sides of that white fun foam were showing, but that's okay. I just used my craft knife and that cuts away really easily, and nobody will ever see that the edge of that foam is a little bit uneven. And then I will adhere that second foam to the front panel. And then that creates a little well for all of my sequins. So I put some adhesive on, and then I can put the back panel on, and that completes the shaker card. So I hope you enjoyed this video on making this super cute fall themed shaker card. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!